Sperm whale jizz, fucking gross.
So let's go ahead and talk about Woke Bond. I mean James Bond's new movie, No Time to Die. And of course, when I say about woke Bond, I mean there is a lot of woke agenda in this movie. A lot of it. Especially, the next James Bond is probably going to be a woman. Which a lot of people are not happy with, seeing that a woman might take James Bond's role and turn to Jane Bond, because decades and decades and decades it's always been a man with masculinity, a tough guy being a tough guy, beating ass and shit. Now they wanted to switch it up and make it a black woman for some reason. I don't get it. Why not make it a black guy? Why it has to be a different gender? I'm surprised they didn't do a transgender yet and make a tranny be a James Bond character more than a woman being a James Bond character, and call it Jane Bond instead. Jamie Bond, or I don't like the idea of that. And I agree with a lot of people that's not a good idea of doing that type of thing. Because like I said, decades and decades and decades, it's always been a dude. I mean, it's fine you want to change the race of the dude, just don't change the gender of the character of itself. Don't do that way. But somehow they're doing that anyways, and this movie's gonna probably bomb at the box office. Now, I'm not talking about No Time to Die. I'm talking about Jane Bond in the future, because that's not a good idea. That's gonna kill your whole franchises doing that, and they're gonna piss off like a lot of fans of James Bond, especially me. I'm a big fan of Sean Connery. Rest in peace to that guy. He was the best Bond in my opinion. Daniel Craig's alright. He's not that. I'm not really crazy about Daniel Craig that much. He's not a bad James Bond, but I don't get why they have to replace the gender. Like I said, I'm fine with a different race character. I'm fine with that. But a gender switch, that's not the right thing to do for a James Bond character, I don't think. Make it a woke, diverse thing. That's what's killing cinema now. That's what's killing television, is make everything woke. And loses like a lot of money by doing that. You lose like a lot of money, a lot of fans, just by doing that. And that's not a good thing for business, especially movie business itself, cinemas, etc., etc., etc. If you want to make a agent character that's female, don't put a female in 007, make her an agent and stuff like that. Make her own type of character, maybe. Don't just make her James Bond. That doesn't make any sense. Nobody's gonna see it. It's like nobody. Every different generation is not gonna see that movie. Because like I said, decades it's always been a male James Bond. It's always been a man. So let's talk about the movie No Time to Die with Daniel Craig. So he comes back to do this one more time, even though he didn't want to do no more, but for some reason he still had one more to do on his contract, I guess. It's a reason because they can't find who to be the next James Bond. They're like confused, like who should we get? Oh, this is so tough. What's so hard to find the right actor, man? It's not hard to really find a British actor to play this role. What's so hard about it? So now, yeah, this is a different one. The villain, it's not that bad, the villain of this movie, but I I think it was Rami Malek or something. Who was the main villain in this movie again? Let me check here. I fucking forgot. No Time to Die. Yeah, Christopher Waltz is the main villain here. Christopher Waltz does a not bad job, you know. But this movie's just... And so, James Bond's new girl is Ana de Armas. And for some reason she fights in this movie. She uses guns and shit. I'm like... That doesn't seem right, because I never remember one James Bond girl ever fight before. In original films, like Sean Connery's films and stuff. His girls like never really fight much. I gotta understand the whole woke thing now. Some movie's like full of females in this film. Sorry, my fault. I forgot. It was another chick. It wasn't Ana de Armas. Some doctor chick or something. That's his love interest. Ana de Armas is supposed to be his assistant, and she works with him and fighting these guys. I'm like, he doesn't need no assistant. I mean, Ralph Fiennes is in here. The dude that play, or Ralph Fiennes. I forgot to pronounce his last name. The guy that played Lord Voldemort's in here. That bald guy, Jeffrey Wright. The guy who plays, you know, Commissioner Gordon in the new Batman movie next year. He's in here. I still don't understand why they pick him to be the next freaking guy, but I don't think he actually fits Commissioner Gordon. Just got a different black guy than him. There's like a lot of actors in the movie, like a lot of actors in this movie. I'm not gonna name all of them. I don't understand why they make it so freaking woke though. Like, James Bond is a movie for men mostly. It's mostly for, like, you know, grown men. For, you know, masculinity. They're really trying to kill masculinity in these films. They're really trying to make it really kill it. They think it's so toxic, this masculinity. They think it's like so fucking toxic, the whole masculinity shit, man. They think it's so toxic. Masculinity is not toxic. There's nothing wrong with being a man in a movie. There's nothing wrong with being a man. There's nothing wrong with that. But somehow these women think masculinity is a bad thing. No, it's not. It's not a bad thing at all. There's nothing wrong with being tough. Like, I don't get what's the big deal in James Bond's character being masculine. I don't get it. What's the big deal? Like, it's like, what the hell are they doing, Kurt? Really? James Bond's character was always masculine. He was always a tough dude. He was never like some pushover. Like this movie shows, like how it is in this movie. Like I said, Daniel Craig's alright. I'm not really crazy about the guy, but they gotta stop forcing this woke shit and making all these men like soft and shit, making like no masculinity whatsoever. They're all like soft ass dudes, and like there's a bunch of beta males. I'm talking about other movies in general. These modern films, like with these dudes in there, they're all just like soft and shit and sensitive. Why they not all the time they gotta be sensitive? I understand, yeah, a tough guy can cry. There's nothing wrong with tough guys crying. I'm just saying, like, I don't understand why they always make them like soft and sensitive all the damn time. That's what's killing movies. There's no masculinity in movies anymore, and that's a bad thing. That's what's really killing cinema. That's why most of these guys that watch these movies don't even want to watch movies anymore because of that. There's about this woke crap agenda that no one really gives a crap about. This movie has like over like 300 million budget, and that's like a lot of fucking money for a budget, you know. You know, Hans Zimmer returns to do the music, and blah blah blah. You know, some what the hell is this? Directed by some Asian guy. He looks like I think he's mixed or something. He was a third generation Japanese American, huh? Okay. I guess. Yeah, he's mixed. He's like German and Japanese. So they got a German Japanese dude to direct this movie, and some more woke shit. The directors are pretty woke. I don't understand that. Why can't a movie just be a movie? Why do they be so freaking woke all the time? Like, gotta force agendas, gotta force feminism, they gotta force this and that. You're gonna lose a lot of people watching your movies doing that type of thing. You can't do stuff like that. You're gonna lose a lot of business forcing this stuff in there. If you want to make a female movie of them being spies, go right ahead. Don't put that in James Bond. James Bond's for men, you know, masculine men to watch. Not for freaking for feminists. Feminists don't even give a shit about James Bond and whatnot. They don't care about James Bond. I mean, regular women watch James Bond with their, with their husbands, boyfriends and stuff like that, because they watch it with them. And other times, yeah, there are women that actually enjoy watching James Bond. Well, not a pushover James Bond, like some softy guy or something like that. They want to watch something like that. I don't understand why these male characters always gotta be a beta male and stuff. These movies these days, I don't understand it. What's so good? What's so cool about that? What's so cool being a beta male? I know people don't like when I talk about betas and alphas and stuff, but there's a right time when it's time to talk about it, and I'm talking about it in the right time. So, yeah. People always get mad when I talk about masculinities and alpha males and beta males. They always get mad when I talk about that for some reason. I don't understand. Like, why does that bother you so much? I'm just stating my opinion on the movie itself and talk about movies in general, how they are these days. You shouldn't get so mad about it. Like I said, the action is not so bad. It's just that it's full like a lot of woke agenda in this movie. A lot of feminism stuff going on here. It's like some totally spies cartoon show instead of 007. Like I said, like the action's fine, but the story's okay. But the feminism, woke agenda is what really messed up this whole movie, mostly. Especially that Jane Bond chick saves James Bond or something. Which, like I said, I don't understand. Like, I understand why they're trying to do that for. I don't get it. That's not a good idea, because James Bond has always been for men, mostly. Looks for, grown men to watch, not for women, mostly. These people they think I'm a sexist and stuff like that. I'm not a sexist. I'm just saying that this movie is mostly for men to watch. Yeah, women watch this all the time too, because James Bond's a handsome dude. They love watching James Bond. He's a handsome guy. But don't woke it up. Don't woke it up. Don't gay it up. Just make a masculine James Bond movie. Don't freaking just screw it up and change the gender around, make a Jane Bond. Don't do that. You're gonna lose a lot of business doing that type of thing. And now, MGM was sold to Amazon now. Now Amazon owns MGM, and they're definitely gonna screw it up now. They're definitely gonna screw up James Bond now, because Amazon owns MGM now. I think that's what I read, or it's another company. I forgot which company it was. I'm just cracking my knuckles. If you heard that. But yeah, everything else, like woke stuff. A lot of woke stuff in here. The villain wasn't that bad. Like I said, Rami Malek wasn't that bad of a villain. I didn't mind him. Like everything else is just, oh my god. It's just, come on now. This is ridiculous. Like I said, if you want to make a female movie about spies, go right ahead. Don't put 007 into it. Don't attach 007's name onto that movie with a female on it. Don't do that. That's not gonna work. It's just not gonna work like that. Well, yeah, this movie's not a good idea to even begin with doing that. Not really a good idea. Another thing is, how many times they're gonna keep using the same villain in these movies? I heard this is the 8th time to use the same villain in this movie. This is the 8th time they're using him. Why do they keep using the same villains? Like, can they make it some new villain that James Bond going against instead of the same fucking guy?